Hi, everybody. It's me, Sandra Pelli da Sandini, Inner Peace Mentor, Galactic Shaman, Dragon Ally, as well as Visionary of the Guide Academy. I am very excited to come to you today from my mom's place in, it's not exactly sunny British Columbia, but the weather is definitely nicer than it is in my house or in my town, my province, where the temperatures yesterday, at least, happened to be a little bit nicer, and the snow is melting. It's not melting fast enough for my liking, but at least it's melting. So when I go home, at least then I'm hoping that it will be to brown ground. What's beautiful about where I'm at is when I go for my walks around the complex that she lives at, it's seeing the green sprouts because of where I'm in the Okanagan in British Columbia. And it just feels really, really good. I do not need to have delete comment. There we go. So let's take a moment. I know this is kind of sudden for some of you because I have been caught up in my personal life and was unable to get this post out there. Some of you have put questions to me in different manners, and I so appreciate that. And in the meantime, hopefully, some of you are going to be catching the live, and if that's the case, asking some questions that way. So let's just take a moment. Actually, before I take a moment to ground us, remember that any questions that are asked, the information that's coming through is for everybody, meaning that if you find or hear anything that resonates for yourself, then grab a hold of it, take it and enjoy that and run with it. If it doesn't resonate with you, then that's absolutely fine as well. Okay. So before I ground us, I'm just going to go over to the group and kind of just touch base and see if I can find the live feed first so that I can catch any live questions. Zero post reach right now. That's all right. Okay, so let me just take a moment to do some grounding. So I'm inviting you to close your eyes, especially if you are in a space that you feel comfortable closing your eyes. Asking the mind, body, and soul to do whatever it would like to do in this space, to be open to receive and share. And being open with no expectations, no limitations. And know that I am creating the outcome, that beautiful I am statement. And I just want to go a step further with that. If I am creating the outcome, listen to the power of that. It means the things that I am actively choosing to do or actively choosing to ignore or choosing to let slide, that's my choice. And I therefore am creating my outcome. Asking you to ground into an element, be it fire, water, wind, or earth, or possibly the ethers. Feeling yourself being well balanced and at peace. And so it is. Beautiful. Thank you so much for being here. Now, as I mentioned, there's not a lot of people on right now, and I have a lot of things going on in my world. And in those going on in my world, I've just been really beautifully supported by my community as well as the dragons all around me. And I just love that. Love what's happening because of that energy. So, with that in mind, I'm just going to pop this over here. Close that. There we go. Okay, I've grounded us, and we had an incredible summit last week. Some of the community has really stepped up in a beautiful way to support one another, whether it's, I guess it doesn't really matter what it is, but truly just kind of energetically know that we are here to support one another. I really almost never even bothered to do this Q&A, and then one of the community actually sent a message, sent a question, and her question is this. I'm actually going to put it into the fields right here, into the comment spot. Oops, there we go. Joan actually asks, I'm feeling a bit stuck. Is there anything I should know or do? Wow. I totally get this. Joan, this whole last couple days have been really, really wild. And really, when you think about the cards that have been showing up and what is showing up that's asking you to, one, notice the signs and symbols, or possibly two, to recognize where you're at and how you want to react. Okay, that's a power piece that's coming through right now. That's the power piece that's coming through right now, is how do you want to react? I just want to see what else is coming through with that. Let me see what else is coming through with that. I'm feeling a bit stuck. Is there anything that I should know or do? There's a whole bunch of different things going on, and this may relate to you, or it may be bits and pieces that you are going to hear in your own manner and see what comes through for yourself. So, in essence, the amount of people who have major things going on with relatives, in-laws, pets is enormous right now. And I'm not sure if this is a North American thing. I'm not sure if this is a Canadian thing. I'm pretty sure it's North American. It may even be humanity, whatever the case is, or it may be our spiritual, and I don't want to say community in this case. There may be something really poignant, really deep, really asking us to shift and recognize where we're at so that we can move through this in a different way. It's not necessarily about taking a step back, although if you are really being put into a position where you need to take a step back, then pay attention to that. I know that there's somebody in the community that is feeling quite unwell today. So her taking care of herself, coming in and listening to something in a meditation wise, and then her choosing that, okay, I need to go lay down, just really paying attention to those things. Okay. But it's also too in the moments of overwhelm, because if it's not a physical thing that's going on with yourself, maybe it's the things that are going on around you, then in that case, it's more about look at the signs that are coming up and how that wants to unfold. I gave a really good example of this with the flying dragon cards. The flying dragon card was family on Friday, which was beautiful for myself for sure with regards to family. Then I accidentally misscheduled 2 cards on Saturday, which were flying Fridays that was actually slated to be in April, but came through Saturday, and this past Saturday, and they were speak your dreams, seek knowledge, and um, and then today on my business page, uh, uh, a childhood friend, someone that my sister went to school with, she posted. She didn't post. She added a photo of a card on my business page around this subject when I did a dragon post that I think I did that on Friday as well, maybe Friday or Thursday last week. And I had posted all kinds of pictures from my phone saying, hey, if you have a picture of a dragon that you want to share, then share it. And this beautiful childhood friend came in and shared this incredible dragon that was let me about radiant energy or radiant excellence or something like that. And actually, I'm going to pull it up in my messenger because it's probably easier. Because I reached out to her to say, "Wow, this is an incredible card. I'm so glad you shared it with me." And she sent me the documents, the book write up on that. And when I read through these book documents, these book parts, the words in that, I was in awe of what the further information was with those dragons. So the card name was Radical Expression. No, sorry, let me rephrase that. It was Radical Expansion. Radical expansion. So there's that energy, and it was a beautiful white serpent dragon swirling in that. And I'm unsure who the author was. So this radical expansion was the card. And the divine energy in that was it's a time for expansion. You can be as big as your energy wants you to be. Stop and consider anything that is holding you back. The card is permission slip that allows you to let go of limiting stories. Take up all the space you need. Have fun unleashing who you are. So this was so powerful. So this is what's going on in our world right now, especially the spiritual world. We're really being hammered by relationships that might be going awry, meaning that there's health issues of people. There are illnesses within ourself, like a dis-ease, whatever the case is. So there's a lot of energy that's flowing right now. So I would love it if anybody else has a question or comment that they want. That was the one question that I got today, and that's because there is definitely some stuff going on in my world, and I want to just really say thanks to Joan for putting her question out there today, just before this was supposed to start, because I wasn't even going to do this. And then her putting it out there showed me that I'm quite capable of doing this, and this is how I want to move forward. Is keep seeing the signs that are moving me forward, right? Keep seeing the signs that are moving you forward. So I see I'm up to 4 people who are watching. I know that I'm one of them because I've got it hooked up on my Facebook as well. So if you have a question that you would like answered, or you just like a general reading or whatever, please do let me know in the comments, and I will. I would love to answer your question. So I'll keep babbling in the meantime. There's a lot of dragon energy happening. Definitely a lot of dragon energy. It was so beautiful. The same childhood friend actually made a comment in her private chat to me about how she was doing some breath work recently, and the vision of the dragon that she saw was absolutely magical. I hold a very select group program, or not program. I have a very intimate group that we get together on Monday mornings, and one of the participants in that was talking about how through the work that they were doing in that moment, because they stepped into a teaching role for the group, how they had felt their dragon literally there at their right side the whole time. So it was just very, very, very magical. Gloriana, hello. Thank you so much for asking for a question. I am open for a reading, no particular questions. So energetically, it's so interesting. There's a lot of dragon energy coming up with you. I grounded us, but as soon as I popped this up onto the screen, Source Dragon showed up immediately. Now, for those of you who are familiar, I do Flying Fridays, where I show a dragon card in the Soulful Empowerment group. And in November of 2022, this Source Dragon came through Diane Cooper's cards, and it's this beautiful orange dragon, and it does this, it shows this galactic energy in its upper limbs, and it gives me items to share with. And that dragon popped in super powerful for me to witness right now, to assist you as well. So just clearing everybody's energy again. And Gloriana. There's something really gentle right now. I can feel the energy of you going from a sitting up position back into a more of a relaxed position. This beautiful wispy cloud energy is coming up, and it is creating a dragon energy actually, and I feel the willowy wispiness of this white cloud energy. It is also facing the left, so you can derive your own meaning from that, Gloriana. You're well versed in the spiritual aspects and how to read into the energy of that. It's also got those little, the little Mai Tai, funny little umbrellas, that the paper umbrellas that you get with the wood toothpick type thing that you get in drinks. That's what it's also it has. It's not holding it, although I'm doing this with my hand because I can feel how it's energetically just above the dragon. So I don't know if that's an indication that that's a very big umbrella or a very small dragon. Um, and you energetically will know better than I. So, Gloriana, there's something about this relaxing into the energy and this little puffy white dragon coming in, and it's got this beautiful, fun umbrella with it. So, there's the Japanese or Chinese culture coming through. I believe it's actually Chinese culture because I remember as a child going to Vancouver, going to Chinatown, and that you could actually purchase these um, little umbrellas in a package in Chinatown. So there's Chinese dragon energy that's coming in for you. Okay, Gloriana, thank you so much. Yeah. Oh, and you're a water dragon. Cool. Love that. Colleen. Ooh, aw. Colleen, I'm just going to go here and share this, first of all. So, oops, thank you. You're welcome, Gloriana. Hi, is there anything coming through as to why I keep getting knocked down with health ailments? Okay, I'm going to just do a quick step back and say, first of all, really go in and listen to the beginning of this conversation, as I really talk a lot about um, um, uh, humanity, North America, relationships, all sorts of different things. So there's something in there for you. Also, too, um, Colleen, energetically, I've been asked to say something to you about the fact that in the time frame, if any of you got the Spiritual How To, my book, my first book, I'd like to say my first book, um, there on towards the back of the book, I think it's the last page, second or last page, it actually shows this very long list of all these incidents, all these accidents, all of these events that happened to me, or yeah, I'm going to say happened to me, because right now this is very much about possibly happening to you, right? And when it came down to it, my guides were attempting to go, yo, you really need to take a look at what you're doing in your life and make a decision to step on a path in a certain way. What that meant for me was that I was kind of just dilly-dallying around with my spiritual journey, and in essence, they said, "Get on this path. You have a bigger mission. You have a bigger, I want to say vision." At that time, I didn't have that vision. I'm having it now, and it's evolving. However, there was bigger things in store for me, and that's why I kept getting hurt, is because I kept going down this path, and spirit wanted me down this path. So that is one of the first things that I would look at is, if you're getting health ailments, what is it that you're currently doing? Is your heart devoted to that path? If it is, then making the conscious decision at that point to go, yo, this is where I'm going to be. I love the way I'm saying yo, Y-O. This is where I want to be. And if that's where I want to be, you'll find that things may settle down, or if there are future health ailments, that they will not last as long. Okay. So if it's not the direction that you want to go, if you're feeling like you're not satisfied, if you're not feeling supported, then really start to consider how you can get on in the pathway that really feeds your soul in a different way. Okay. That is what is coming through with regards to the health ailments. I'll just see if there's anything else. And Source Dragon is bouncing a thermometer, the type that we had in our mouths as kids, or that we give our children to use when we're checking their temperatures. That it's just doing it's bouncing in and out, bouncing in and out. So yeah, hopefully that was helpful for you, Colleen. Really appreciate you being here. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. I know that like I said, I came on here kind of without anybody really realizing that this is what I was going to do. I came from a month of a holiday, meaning I mountain biked all over Arizona and Utah and even into Nevada, which was just absolutely like, holy wow. And I guess I'm telling you this for a very specific reason. And in the meantime, if you guys have any more questions, I'll answer another one, even if it's the same you, Gloriana, Colleen, whoever else is here. If you want to ask another question, feel free. In the meantime, there was one ride that I really wanted to mention because it was a ride that we had done in a completely new place. So we are stepping into a completely new energy. Secondly, I struggled. Holy cow, did I struggle. It had a major, major uphill portion, okay? And in that major uphill portion, I literally had to hike a bike. My husband actually is so tough. He rode his bike up this hill, but I had to hike a bike. And if you are unsure what I mean by hike a bike, it means I'm literally pushing my bike up the mountain instead of riding the bike. Anyway, get up to the plateau, and then we get back on our bikes, and we are continuing this bike ride. And I knew there was a certain point that we needed to turn around. We had a time frame, et cetera, et cetera. So um, I love the energy of that. There's big energy that we're all shifting through right now. Big energy that's making us really stop and look at what are we doing. Then I plateaued, right? Then I knew that there was a time frame. So really hear to the words that I'm saying in the grander aspect of your own personal life, okay? The next part of this bike ride was um, was this. I thought it was flat. Let's put it that way. So I'm riding my bike along, riding my bike along, riding my bike along, and I'm huffing and I'm puffing. I'm like, oh my gosh, we've ridden our bikes for so many days. I'm exhausted. This is so. I'm I feel it in my legs. I notice I keep saying I'm, but then I stop and I want to change what I'm saying. So I feel it in my legs. I can really feel this bike ride, and I have been struggling. I said to my husband, and he said, "Turn around and look at where we've been, where we've come from." And so I turned around and looked, and we had been doing this very slow, gradual climb for a fair distance, like quite a distance, like probably 2 miles, maybe 3 miles, probably 2 miles, about 2 miles, but that's about 3.5 kilometers. And we had been gradually climbing. So it wasn't like it was a major uphill, but it was so minor a grade up that I couldn't physically see it until I turned around and looked back. So what does this mean? This means that we have been working at getting rid of things. We have been letting go of things. We have been looking at the dis-ease in our life, and we've been walking this steady uphill, 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 and we can feel it. We know that we're doing something, or we don't, or we feel like we're doing something. No, or okay, we know that we've been doing something, or we feel as though we've been struggling and we haven't realized that we've actually been doing something in our life that's moving us in the direction we want to go. Okay. So we get up to this spot. I look at my map on my phone and I said, hey, let's go do this, because if we do it this way, we're not going to get the full benefit of something. So we're going to do this longer route and get over to here. So notice what I just said. Sometimes it's not within our um, uh, wheelhouse to do these short little things that are going to get us somewhere. Sometimes we are being asked to do it in a longer direction, okay, that we're asked to take steps in a different manner. So we get over to this other area and we start down a little, in a little decline, I guess. It's not an incline now, it's a decline, right? So we start down this and then we stop and we look, and wow, holy cow. Before us is this incredibly wide open valley, incredible mountain scenery on one side, the sun, blue sky, trees, Joshua trees, like these beautiful cactus-like trees. And it is like, it's made everything that we have done, that mega hill, that gradual but very much struggling still incline to that point, all of it was so worth it to get there. So this is the bigger message that's for all of you guys, is to really recognize that um, even though you feel as though you're not getting anywhere, you are getting somewhere. Even though you feel like it's too difficult at points, that is the moment you decide whether you want to keep going, right? Or whether you're going to go on a different route. Not giving up, but go a different route. Okay. Very, very powerful experience, that bike ride. It happened to be the second last one that we were going to do on that trip. So that too is number two, which is all about balance. So finding that balance in my life. It was um, it was ride 16 of the trip. One is about my personal identity. It's also about community and how I'm living my life with my community, sharing in my community, having the relationships with everybody, including myself. So there was so much wisdom in that one bike ride. And I guess that's about all I want to share with you. That information will help with all of your questions, ideally. Um, Thank you guys for your patience. I'm not sure how long I'm here at my mom's. We have a bit of a family crisis going on right now. And one step at a time, one day at a time, I know that I am making very proactive choices that are ideally taking care of me first. So as I wind this up, would love to hear what your takeaways are. If you're catching the replay, give me a takeaway in the comments. Just go hashtag takeaway. If you're here currently, hashtag takeaway. What else did I want to say? I'll just make sure that there's nothing else. Okay, no. I was just checking to see if there was anybody here on the Facebook feed asking any questions, but I don't see anybody on the Facebook feed asking questions. Wow. I'm so glad I came on. Thank you to Joan in my community for asking a question that spurred me to come into here and answer some of your questions, as well as go a step further and really have each of you maybe look at what's going on in your own life in a different way so that you have a better understanding. Know that you're supported. Know that I'm here, and feel free to reach out and ask any questions. Feel free to ask your questions in the comments as well. I will respond. Okay. You guys are magical. Love you. Bye.